Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chris Flowers. Here's the deal. In today's episode, we're going to talk about delegation and how important it is for every business owner to start doing it. Let's get into today's show. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Chris Flowers. Here's the deal. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Litchfield Auto. Phil and his team, I can't recommend these guys enough. I've been going there, like I said, well over 10 plus years. Doesn't matter what kind of car that you have. You can have a Nissan, you can have a Mercedes, makes no difference. Phil and his team, like I said, they're excellent at keeping cars on the road. I trust my family drives in our cars all the time. So like I said, I trust them with my family. Okay. And I refer anybody to them, you know, if no matter what kind of vehicle you're driving. And just like their slogan is, at least there's one fair and honest mechanic. And they're it. Litchfield Auto. Okay, so when you're a new business owner, of course, you got to wear all the hats, right? You're the CEO and you're the janitor. Everybody knows that. But one thing you have to learn to do is that you have to learn how to delegate. You got to learn this as soon as possible. Um, because like, let's say like Phil over at Litchfield Auto, right? You know, he can turn a wrench with anybody. Okay. That guy is an expert. He's a master mechanic, certified, all that kind of good stuff. But he's not out there turning wrenches every day. Okay. He does occasionally, but for the most part, he's got a crew. Okay. He's got guys, he's got females. They all can turn wrenches with the best of them. Okay. He learned how to delegate when he first got started. Of course, yeah, he was he was the head mechanic, but now he knows the difference between working in the business and working on the business, and that's why his business is so successful because he can delegate. He doesn't have to wear all the hats anymore. So that's the place where you got to get to. If you're gifted as a mechanic, if you're just gifted as a carpenter, if you're just as a chef, a seamstress, doesn't matter. Okay. You got to know what your strengths are. You got to know what your strengths are not. And I think that's the most important thing. A lot of people got to learn what their strengths aren't. Okay. So that's where a lot of people will fall short. So it takes a lot of courage to admit that. It takes a lot of courage that, hey, I'm not gifted in this area. I need to find some people that I can trust, that I can bring them on. It's kind of like what, Clint Eastwood said in Dirty Harry. He said, man's got to know his limitations. You do. You have to know where you're limited. And of course, I said at first, yeah, you have to wear all the hats, but you should have that in your mindset. Okay. I need to understand where I'm not strong and I need to start delegating these things. If you read this book, you can see it here. Next Generation Leader by Adam Stanley or Andy Stanley, excuse me, Andy Stanley. Read that book. Okay. Because one of the things in there that I absolutely loved, the biggest nugget I got out of that was that there are people out there that love to do what you hate. Pay them to do it. So that is like that was like amazing to me. Like that like lit me up. I was like, man, I love it because you got to get your time back. Okay. Your time is your most valuable resource. Okay. And the more time that you can get back to doing, what makes you tick, what you got into the business for, that is priceless. Okay. So you got to be able to get your time back. Okay. So delegating things, you have to have that in your mind. Okay. If you're just starting a business out, or if you're that person that has to have their finger on everything, oh, I got to do this. No, you have to learn to let go. Okay. You got to learn how to trust the people that you hire to do the things. Okay. It's essential to any successful business. Okay. Because like I said, Steve Jobs, didn't, grow Apple by himself. Okay. So that's the one thing but it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard, especially when you get the business going and you were the person that's wearing all the hats. You're doing all this stuff, like this at UConn, by the way, going to be repeat national champions. So you're used to wearing all the hats, right? But you got to learn how to let that go. Okay. Because your business won't be able to grow. You can't be a one man show or a one woman show. You got to be able to let your business grow. This is a part of that vision that we were talking about, being able to express your vision. Okay. You got to be able to let people in on the vision. Okay. Not only, the people that you hire, but your customers as well, where you're trying to take the company and where it's going. All right. You got to be able to, when, you train the people the way that you want them trained. Okay. To do it your way. Okay. To do things, to your standard. Okay. There has to be a standard, and it has to be your standard, because this is your baby, your business. You built it. Okay. So they have to, the people that you do hire, that you do trust, they have to be able to live up to your standard. Okay. Now, that is one thing. Another thing that you have to understand when you are delegating to other people. Okay. It can't be your way or the highway all the time. Okay. There are people out there who have gifts as well, who are gifted maybe to do the same things you do. They might take a different approach. You still get to the same destination. The quality of the work is still just as good, but they may have a different method. Okay. And you have to be able to let people follow their method. Okay. As long as the standard is met, the timelines are met, how they get there could be a little bit different. Okay. But as long as they're following the rules, and like I said, they're meeting all the deadlines, and their standards are still where yours are, you got to let people be able to be free to be able to do those kind of things. Okay. You have to let them, roam, let them explore. It's it's something that is hard. Again, another, like, really hard thing to do. Um, and you can't be out there just like barking orders at people. Okay. People don't respond well to barking orders. Like, especially like I was in the military for a long time. I don't like people barking at me anymore. Like I said, I did it for 8 years. I'm like, you know what, man, I'm done with all that. So when you do hire people on, you can't be a drill sergeant. You can't, this is not about, being a drill sergeant. You have to be able to express your vision in a clear tone. They have to get it. They have to understand it, and they have to roll with it. Okay. They have to understand that, hey, this is the way it's going to be done. So if they can do that, I mean, if they can't do that, they can't live up to the standard, or they can't, then you have to fire them and go find another one. But if they can meet the standard and they can meet the deadlines, you got to be able to trust them to do it your way. You gave them the vision, they understand it, they're buying in. Now let them roll with it. Okay. You know, Denzel Washington, I love this speech by Denzel Washington. It was called Fail Big. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. Okay, because that speech is amazing. It's called Fail Big. And you have to be able to, set goals. You have to be able to set daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. And, he quoted that, if you, like, again, you've heard me say before, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay. You have to have that plan in place. You have to have these goals in place. But goals without hard work are just dreams, he said. Okay. So obviously you got to be able to put the work in. The people who work with you have to be able to put in the work, be willing to put in the work. But if you express the vision, you gave them the goals, okay, and they are meeting those goals, everybody wins. Okay. Like I said, the whole, high tide floats all boats, right? So if your business is doing well, okay, you're hiring people, you know, they're they're being employed, they're making money, you know, everybody's winning. Okay. They're feeding their kids, they're paying their mortgage, you know, you're building up the community. Okay. But doing it all by yourself, I mean, it's super hard to do. But if you can hire people, you can better their lives, you can better their children's lives, their family life, things like that. Everybody wins. So yeah, if you got the vision, like, oh, I don't want anybody stealing all my stuff and stealing my ideas. Your idea, there's nothing new under the sun, the Bible says. Okay. Other people have done the businesses you've done before. The difference between, like, let's say, there's a million podcasts out there, a million of them. There's a million YouTube channels, right? You know what makes here's the deal different than everybody else? Me. Okay. Now I got people that I'm working with and they're sharing the vision. They're working with me, and everything like that. And somebody's going to come out and make the same kind of show. A million people have done it before me, a million people do it after me. What makes here's the deal different is that it's my vision and my dream when I'm bringing, people on, to inspire people. And there are other people that are going to do it too. But and, hey, great, go for it. You want to subscribe to their podcast? That's great. But here's the deal. I'm the one driving the ship, but I got other people working with me. But I'm not afraid that, and other people, like I said, people have done it before me. So other people are going to do what you've done. Okay. And if there's something really super scientific, get patents on it, copyrights, do all that kind of good stuff, obviously, of course, got to have all your stuff, in place. But, you got to share the vision, you got to share the dream, and you got to share it with other people. Let people in on what you got going on and let them share in your success, and again, you can't be good at everything. You can't be like, I'm not good with editing the videos, and we're working on getting, editing people in right now. Yeah. But the editing people are coming in. We're going to start getting this thing a little more squared away, things like that. But you can't be good at everything. You maybe, if you're not the social media guy, okay, social media person, hire somebody to do social media. You might be great at bean counting. Okay. You might be the behind the scenes person. You might be the person, like, you don't want to be the face of the company because that's not where you thrive. Hire good salespeople. Okay. They're out there. Okay. So hire those people to do what you are, like I said, just like the book says, and Andy Stanley's book, Next Generation Leader. Okay. Hire people to do what you are not good at. Understand you're not good at, let's say you're not good at sales. Hire people to be your salespeople. Okay. Because there are people that are really good at sales. Like, I'm really good at sales. I'm not good at editing video. That's why I'm getting help. Okay. I understand that, producing this show is going to get better and better and better because I got people that are coming on board to help out with that. And it's going to be great. But they're sharing in my vision. But I have to delegate this stuff because I understand I'm not good at it. So, again, to close things out, you have to really not wear all the hats. Not if you really want to be successful. There's no business out there. Any successful CEO, mega corporation, like, yeah, I didn't do this by myself. I had a team, and we all, again, shared the vision, and we all bought in, and everybody worked their tails off, to make this thing happen. But like I said, the high tide rises all boats. Everybody's being successful. People are making money. Everything's great, you know, and we're growing the community. So if you are a new business owner just starting out, have that in your vision, have that in your business plan, that you can start delegating a lot of these tasks, especially the ones you don't like doing. Okay. Phil still loves turning wrenches, but he delegates that now. If he has to get in on something, it's very few and far between. Or if he might get into it just because he wants to, because so he loves it. But what I mean, whatever, right? But he has a whole team, guys and women turning wrenches. Okay. He doesn't do that anymore. He's out there bringing in more business because that's where his value add is. He's bringing in the business for a company. You might not be good at that. Okay. You might not be good at it. So understand that, recognize it, acknowledge it, and hire the people to do what you don't like doing, even if that's the sales, even if it's, like I said, the social media marketing or whatever, the accounting. Definitely get a CPA, definitely get an accountant, things like that to handle all that kind of stuff. Just because of the legal ramifications, you're not going to be able to handle all that. Okay, so in closing, like I said, just don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but if you're in business, if you're starting a business, or if you're in business and you're still wearing all the hats, you're this control freak. Oh no, I have to do everything. Oh no, I have to have my hand in everything. You're going to fail. You're not going to grow the business the way you could grow the business until you actually start delegating. You start hiring some people. And if you're not good at recognizing talent, bring somebody who is better at it that you can trust. Say, hey, and do interviews together, whatever it takes. Okay. So delegation is key to growing any business, and you have to be able to delegate. So get that in your action plan ASAP. And in closing, like I said, I would just like to say that I want to give all praise and glory to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. He's the one who gave me the gift to do this show and bringing all the people on that we're bringing on, and that, you know, we're doing interviews, got the interviews lined up. Jesus lined all that up. So, like I said, I just want to give all honor and glory to God. I want to thank my family, all the support that they're giving me, uh, encouraging me to, you know, do the show and things like that. And then I always blame Mario Aguirre from Fallen 360 for getting me started in podcasting, doing the YouTube channel. It's all his fault. So have a good night. And like I said, stay tuned because I got interviews lined up, several already lined up. So next show's coming up. We're going to be interviewing all kinds of business owners and industry experts and things like that. So stay tuned because here's the deal.